I want to talk about respect and honor for the elderly. I started YouTube officially 2 years ago. And there was a female that had been following me from February of last year. And this female is older than me, and she became a big sister of me. She supported me in every which way. She supported me, this female. A couple of days ago, her sister was attacked in the Bronx. And her sister's laying up in the hospital. Now, I made a video and I put up this so everybody can see, but, her daughter, out of respect to her daughter asked me to take it down. She didn't want to see her. She don't want nobody to see her mother like that. And I respected it and I took it down. I got a lot of prayers. I got a lot of love from a lot of people. We're going to talk about respect and caring for your elders. See, because I lost my mother of last year. I don't have a mother no more. I can't call nobody as far as parent-wise. I lost my father in 97, and I lost my mother of last year. And these people and these young kids don't have no type of honor, don't have no type of respect for their elders, for women, and younger kids. When I say younger kids, I'm talking about babies. You know that if you are by yourself or you're in a pack and you see a person that's elderly minding their business and you decide you want to rob that person and attack that person, and what gets me is you have a mother, you have a grandmother, and you probably have sisters yourself. I'm going to get on a lot of dudes, man. Because a lot of these dudes, they don't know the street and they don't know the code of the street. And see, when I was growing up, kids, women, elderly people was off limits. Unless you was a madman or somebody that wasn't playing around with a full deck, you knew even the gangsters, even the gang members and the drug dealers that was known back then in the streets said no kids, no women, and no elderly. If you're going to deal with somebody, you deal with that person, that man directly. You don't touch no kids. You don't touch no elderly, and you don't touch no women. But see, these kids today, right? And some of these grown-ups too, don't get it twisted. They don't know the code, and the grown-ups that know the code, they violate the code. This female was not bothering nobody. She was born and raised there. And it's always in our neighborhood, mostly, majority in our neighborhood where this happens. And the thing is this is the thing. When you, as a black person that was born in a poor neighborhood, and you're not into the streets, you're just into your books. Some of y'all either go to school to be doctors, lawyers, and so on and so forth when it comes to in that type of subject. Or A lot of y'all will go to trade school, become master electricians, master plumbers, so on and so forth. And you graduate and you're being offered a job, and the job may pay you 6 figures and above. And you decide, listen, I was born and raised here, but this is not the place I want to be. This is not the place that I want to raise kids if I decide to have one or find a wife. Let me leave. When you leave, you're called token Negroes, you're called Uncle Toms, and you're called sellouts. Now, my friend that I call my sister, her sister should not be laid up in the hospital like this, man. You know how tired I am right now. I'm so pissed off. I'm trying to make phone calls to people that I know that used to live down there or may still live down there to find out if they heard something about this, man. Because this is disgusting, man. This was a lady that's 74. A lady that was born and raised there and can't even be safe in the same neighborhood she was born and raised. When I get on black folks, I get on black folks for a reason. Now, I don't get on all black folks. I get on ninjas. There's a difference between black people and ninjas. We was always told that. Difference between ninjas and black people. I can't say the other thing because I'm a YouTuber, so I have to be, straight with mine, and I have to keep the language. I'm not gonna curse. But a difference between ninjas, black people, ninjas. And it seems like the ninjas are outweighing the black people. To touch an elderly person, you got to say to yourself this. You got to think. You do this to an elderly person, you got to say, what about my mother? What about my grandmother? What about my sisters? If I had that and I'm doing this to them, to this person, and I got to say, wait a minute, I have a mother that age. I have a grandmother that age. I have sisters that walk the street. And the code that we had back then, they don't follow that code because the millennials, or whatever you want to call them, don't understand the code. The Gen Xers do. We understand the code, man. You don't touch no innocent person. If you have beef with somebody, you go after that person. If you feel that you want to be a criminal or a crook, go after somebody that can fight back. But we never dealt with that, man. We never dealt with that. This touching elderly people, this touching young kids, and this harming innocent women, when is it going to stop? When are some of these men going to start putting their foot down and start stopping what's going on in your neighborhood? Instead of always blaming somebody else, blaming the white man, the white man, the white man. That's all we do. We've been blaming the white man for a long time. Years and years and years, we've been blaming the white man. And then when we turn around, we are the ones harming each other. It's black folks, ninjas. I can't say black folks because the black folks won't do stuff like that. The black folks will go to school. The black folks will treat people with respect. That's black folks. Ninjas do stuff like this. And they will turn around when they get caught by the cops and start crying. When they're about to get sentenced 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, now you're crying. You wasn't crying when you harmed somebody. You wasn't crying when you took somebody's life. You wasn't crying, man. But this is what happens. This woman is sitting up in the hospital, and the more I look at her face, I'm getting so mad right now. I'm tight right now, man. Because I just want to know who did this. Why would you do this to somebody, man? This is what I want to know. This is what I want to understand, man. Why? And this is why I left the hood. You understand me? This is why I left. Because you, as a human being, as a person, especially Black Americans, have to make a choice. If you live in a bad neighborhood and you're not that type of person, because I am not. I was the nerd in the family. I was what they call the black sheep. I wasn't with that. That wasn't me. I was into martial arts, cartoons. So when you have that type of state of mind and you look around you and see the violence getting worse, you have two options. You can either stay there and end up probably something happening to you, or you can say, you know what? Let me get out of here. And that's what I decided to do. But then that's when they call you all type of token Negroes, and they call you Uncle Tom, and you're a sellout, and why you're leaving, because this is the problem. You're being attacked by your own people. Your own people are doing this. It's not the white man. Yes, granted, the guns coming through other people. Okay, the drugs coming through other people. Okay, but nobody told us we have a mind. Nobody told us to pick up these guns and use it. Nobody told us to take the drugs and sell it. You cannot blame nobody. You make that decision and you make that choice in life on how you're going to run your life and how you're going to make decisions. You do it. The Lord gave you that. But see, what black people do, this is what Negroes do. This is what ninjas do. We want to blame the white man for all of our problems. Everything. We want to blame the white man. The white man will have nothing to do with this, minding his business, home with his family or by himself. But for some reason, I took a gun and I blasted you in your head. I took drugs and sold it to you. And when I get caught, it was the white man's fault. I robbed you, put that person in a coma or kill that person, but it was the white man's fault. He had nothing to do with it. He wasn't around. When are Negroes, when are black people, when are ninjas going to start taking responsibility for our own actions? When are we going to start doing this? When are we going to start? That woman is in the hospital right now because a ninja whoever decided in the hood, they was going to harm somebody, and they did. And I am so sick of it. I'm tired of innocent people being harmed for nothing. Nothing. They're minding their business. And this is why I became a New York City guardian angel. 38 years, 1986 to the present, right now, 38 years. Our anniversary, Lord spare our life, will be coming up in February. What I'm saying to you, my prayers goes out to the woman I call my sister that been with me through thick and thin, that her sister recovers. But I hope she ends up leaving that place when she does, because she didn't deserve this. No innocent person deserves this. But this is how the Black American community is. And the thing about it, when you as a black person talk about the Black American community, you're wrong. We as black people don't talk and really chastise our community the way we're supposed to do. We don't do this. We don't sit down and look at the problem and look around and say, look what's going on. Look how our neighbor is. Look what we're doing. Look at the kids going crazy. Look at the young girls getting pregnant. Look at the older women getting pregnant. Look at the men standing on the corner with their pants down, selling drugs, killing each other over blue and red. Look at our situation. We don't do this. We don't do this at all. And see, after this video, somebody's going to disrespect me because I know how black people are. One thing about black people, and I am black, and I can tell you, we cannot take criticism. It seems like we can criticize people. We can tell people what they're doing. We can tell the white man what he's doing. But when somebody tells us about what we're doing, especially our own people, we're the problem. As black people, we're the problem. As another black person like myself saying this, I'm the problem. But we will chastise all racists. We will check all racists, especially white folk, all day long. The white man, the white man, the white man, the white man. But when somebody checks us or we check us, we are the problem. Isn't that something? This disrespect and breaking the code to the street in our neighborhood, somebody needs to check it. Leave the kids alone, leave the elderly alone, and leave the women alone. If you have a problem or if you want to rob somebody, why don't you go do it to another person that can fight back and see what happens? The tables can be turned on you. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment of what you think. This is Big Hawk, that Yonkers native, the host of Street Talk, bringing you news from here and all over and having prayers for my sister that I call Angela. That's my sister. It's not my blood sister, but she has been there and she has chastised me and she put me in my place. And I love you, sis, for that. And please help her get out of that bed and then maybe she can leave the hood. I'm out of here.